hey, I'll do I'll do clips, I'll do everything, I'll do all these weird things, and eventually they can find their lane. But it's like tough, like starting any business. You're gonna eat shit for 2 years.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of moving somewhere else?
Yeah, I really have and stuff like that. I want to say where, but like I've got like 2 3 places in mind and stuff like that. But I honestly, knowing my fucking self, as soon as I move there, I'd be like, hey, here I am in the over here and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah. I lived in the Philippines for almost 3 years.
yeah.
So I got to experience living a whole different culture, whole different side of the world. Uh,
I think I do good in the
Everything's
Philippines.
different.
I think I do good in the Philippines.
Yeah, I mean, when at first it's a completely culture shock, completely different change. But I was there for so long that I got used to it. So yeah, it. So I've thought about living other places. I'm not sure if it would still be Philippines. I mean, I could do it there, but
Thailand now.
that's the thing though. I haven't done enough traveling. I need to do more traveling.
Yeah.
And like I would recommend anybody go if you think about going somewhere, go live there for 6 months.
Yep.
Go rent a place and live there for 6 months because it can change.
Yeah.
Your mind can change after being there for 3-6 months.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of things. And now this is just what I've heard personally from people that I trust telling me stuff. It could be different because you could be localized. You have family there. So I'm talking about like the stuff Troy Francis and other people have told me, and some people I'm not going to name, but like a lot. I've had a lot of people because I've asked because they're traveling all over Europe and stuff, and I'm traveling I'm kind of like I've only traveled to the Americas really, if I'm being honest, right? I've been to Puerto Rico. I like Puerto Rico a lot. It's just it's tough with family and stuff because you're like,
Yeah,
how are you gonna move the whole fam? Like you're gonna move like everybody over to
it gets complicated.
yeah.
But actually, that's the title of the show is like how to get super rich in crypto, right?
Yeah.
Go move somewhere where the cost of living is dirt cheap,
Yep.
so you have more money to invest in crypto. That's just a little tip
Yeah.
there.
That's why I moved to Vegas.
Yeah. So you were in Cali before?
Yeah, I was in
Yeah.
Cali, born and raised in Cali and stuff. It was a good part of Cali. I really liked honestly, where I'm from, it's like, I think I personally believe, not personal, I don't know, right? Is like, that is, Monterey, the 831, that area and stuff has got the best weather in California. Like, not too hot, not too cold. It like, bro, it's like the best weather in the world. And it doesn't, and not the annoying moisture in the air, like in terms of like, where you feel like you're just getting cooked alive.
Yeah, not hot and muggy. It's just it's just a nice feeling, yeah.
Right. But besides that, moving over here, it's a lot drier. It's cool, but like the tax savings alone, just having no state tax is nice. The rent here is ridiculously lower on average and stuff. So I mean, you can get yourself a really nice place for $3,000 a month.
You want to know how much I rented a 3-bedroom house in a gated community in the Philippines?
How much?
$300 a month.
A 10x lower.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Like a lot of people don't know this stuff. They just don't know exists because they're in their bubble.
They're in the slave mind. They don't know what's they don't know what's possible. Yeah, and then even the Matrix, and you could say the Matrix, you could say women, but they're protecting themselves. Like there's this whole have you ever heard of something called a passport, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's a part of it where like guys are just really just doing sexual tourism. I can understand that. Like, fuck y'all Western women. I'm going over here and I'm gonna get myself I gotta be politically correct here. Yellow bone? I don't know what to say. Like, get yourself something different, whatever. Like a chick with like more nicer values, right? Or basically, or AKA she'll suck your dick. Let's be for real with a lot of these guys, right? But there's entire things too where you're like, yeah, you go over there and then you like the culture, and on top of that, like it's a really nice place to live and it's way cheaper, and then you make your money online. It's like this is how you get another way to kind of it's basically another way to supercharge you getting rich and stuff, right? And then it gets you this kind of world. It's kind of, imagine if you did even if you did it for 4 or 5 years, you traveled to 3 different countries, you live there for that amount of time. I will say this though, if you start doing like now, this is me as an employer as well as a person who knows people who are doing it and like seen what's happened, is I will warn you one thing, is that once you really start, if you're getting paid really well, being like an expat, not an expat, but sort of like an expat, digital nomad, and you're doing a lot of work for people across the pond, and you move a lot, you will tend to get fired. I'll tell you that the people don't understand why, because basically people get used to your schedule and then you start changing it around. And then on top of that, the employer, no matter what happens, they always think you're kind of just fucking around because they think you're just partying. Like, let's just say if you were working, let's just say you're digital nomad and you live in Thailand or you live in Bangkok or whatever, right? In Thailand, right? As an example. and that's where they met you, and you're working for something cool. Hey, I'm traveling to London, or I'm traveling to France, I'm traveling here, I'm doing this. Well, even with the traveling, they're not gonna be able to be super efficient. And on top of that, so like this is as an employer, and as I have no people who lost a ton of work because of them. Like, hey, this is my dream. I'm gonna travel to this other country, and like they don't stay put. They're traveling from country to country. Then basically they don't get any fucking work done. They say they do and they don't, because I know for most, now there is this now the exception doesn't make the rule. There's these one percenters. They're traveling, they're making money, like it never goes down. They're just killing it, right? But it's usually because they have some sort of very, very good, very high level skill. Now, if you're a little more in the middle to like lower end, they can get. This is personal experience, just from people I know and I've talked to, and I know a lot of these companies that are like expat companies and stuff like that. That like they tell me that all the time. So you have to kind of like stay put, and then if you go somewhere else, you have to plan to stay there for a longer period of time, so you don't fuck up your income as well.
Yeah, I mean,
pro tip.
I never thought of that. Interesting take, huh?
Yeah, but this is just like, but if you're like, if a YouTuber and you're a YouTuber, like it doesn't matter, then your income doesn't go down, because it's like, hey, you guys, I'm okay. Like,
so you're basically just saying, if you work, if you're employed by somebody, but if you're doing your own thing,
oh, you're fine then. Yeah, you're fine then. Yeah. But I'm just warning, because most people, most digital nomads are working for other people. They're not working for themselves.
Right.
It's kind of weird. You would think it was the other way around, but like there's a huge amount of people that are usually copywriters, or they're like they're YouTube clip guys, or this and this, or managers, or whatever the hell they're doing, right? Like the traveling, if you're traveling around a lot, what ends up happening is, you're gonna be on the airport, you got over here, you're gonna be on the train, not the best network, boom, boom, boom. Well, I got to go out tonight, and then like, obviously we're not stupid. People are partying and they're having fun, and they're like, well, dude, I've never been to Amsterdam. I got to go out, and they're like, oh my God, a space cake. Protect the innocent, right? But that's kind of what happens. And so it's just an interesting thing is like, you really got to make sure you secure that nut first before you like, okay, if as an example, let's just make it the most like Bangkok is the most like, like it's the most like generic one, right? No, rest in peace, Hong Kong, right? But like, if you're over there in like Bangkok and you're really there, right? For a year, and you build that income, right? People think, where are you at? Oh, they'll throw jokes and stuff, and you'll be making your money. It's fine. And then you decide to move to Australia or here or there. That's fine. But it's just basically choosing a spot, staying there for a good chunk of time before I'm doing a move, and not just doing like these multi-travel moves and stuff. But that's one. I mean, that's just one tip for the digital nomad and stuff like that.